Hello there, Stone Seekers. This is Loko 4. I am back for another episode of Across the Realm. You cannot get rid of myself and Bear that easily. So lucky you guys. And Bear is back as well. How you doing, Bear?
Hello, everybody. Yes, doing well, thank you. I was just on a lovely vacation with my family for my father's 60th, and we are
Ooh,
back in
you're
the realms,
back.
baby. Let's
Hope you
talk.
Yeah, I hope you had a great time. We also have Slappy White here. He's going to give us an update on the tournament. If you're in the Discord for the tournament, it is going crazy these last 2 days. Lots of procrastination, but lots of matches available today as people are posting what times they can play. We'll also talk a little bit with Wicked, currently the number 1 seed in the tournament with this, I guess, play-in Yu-Gi-Oh style play. I faced him yesterday, and yeah, he is definitely forced to be reckoned with. And then we have Fish, aka Hawkwind, to talk to us a bit about some of our card printing and what he's been up to. And I actually have that playtest kit that we're going to open up later today as well. So Bear, we missed something big last week. Did you watch our show from last week?
You know what? I didn't.
Yeah. So
Regrettably,
we
I
missed
was too
some.
busy in the sun.
Wait, hold on, Loco. You're telling me that in Albania, Across the Realm is not the number 1 show already?
I mean, maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. We missed some major alpha dropped from Kish. It was supposed to be 3 things, but I believe he changed it to 4 things. One was the playtest kits. Mine was shipped like in 2 days. Anyone else get a playtest kit yet? No one else?
Yes, I mean, I happened to get mine before, of course.
Of course.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now let me ask you, Bear. Was the keeper of the Drury Skulls alt art at Nationals? Does that ring a bell to you? You probably had an inside track on that.
Yes, certainly
Yeah.
does ring a bell. Yeah, absolutely.
Good choice. He's a citizen collector, so I thought that was quite appropriate to make that the alt art. That was
totally.
2.
We've seen some of you keeping tabs on some of the art and going through the file, and we can only stay hush for so long, Loco.
I love it. I think it was appropriate. It made me I had to go back and reread the card to see what he was talking about, because he said it had the collector tag to it. So that was pretty awesome. The third thing, probably one of my favorites, I know it's a little controversial, what is that card going out to those who supported the first Kickstarter but said, no, I didn't support the second? The Judas card? Is that what I heard?
The Judas card.
Hopefully, that card I don't know much about.
What's that, Fish?
I know about the silver packs for the early backers and so on, but I don't know too much about the Judas card. Do you, Bear?
No, I mean it's been theorized, long debated. I don't really know about it either. I think it's let's see what happens.
Sorry about that.
I suppose.
So I'm really happy that I made a second Kickstarter account, because I have one that I might get a Judas for. I backed the first time and said, nope, never mind the second time. So we'll see if that comes my way.
So what was it again? I know I have it in my notes, but what was it again?
Yeah, so we have this group of people that thought, dang, wonders of the first Kickstarter, boom, pushed us over 1 million in the first 24 hours.
Yep.
And then if you were part of our Kickstarter, woe was us. We got into those chats, people, whoa, pump the brakes. So we had to relaunch our Kickstarter, correct?
Yep.
And a bunch of people said, nope, I'm not in this time. So everyone who backed the Kickstarter the first time through, but didn't come back to back the second time, they are going to get a special card called Judas. Now, Kish said you don't want it in our deck, but I imagine some people are going to want this in their collection.
Yeah, I mean, certainly something like that. I'm going to reserve my comment on this. Yeah, for sure.
No one has any other info, right? I mean, that's pretty much it. He said, Judas, art not released, going to those who supported us the first time, not the second. That's all I got from it.
That's good. Good. If you remind me to talk about that when it's my turn, I'll explain what the process is we're going through now and why we're waiting to do some things because of resource limitations, and then when we're going to do those things. This is one of them.
Perfect. I love it. I know some people have asked in chat about that. So no news, no more on Judas Bear. You don't know much about that one?
I think I'm just going to kind of keep the mystique and excitement. It feels a little more fun sometimes to keep some things veiled in shadow, should we say?
I can't tell if he doesn't know or he does. That's
right. That's why I asked the question three different ways, 3 different times, trying to pull something out of him. But he's just like my middle school students, not giving it up. Okay. For those who backed the first time and the second time, so sweet. Our loyal friends, we get a Patria token. It appears to be a pug of sorts. I say Patria because it was green. Bear, I see a nod. Is that a confirmation on that, or is that more of a mystique? Like maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we're very happy to be releasing a loyal friend token. I feel like something like that feels really fitting, and Wonders, and of course, Block Packs in the past has done a fantastic job of rewarding people who remain faithful and engaged and interested, and I think that's like long been one of the marks of this company. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for not just our loyal friend, but I suppose everything down the line that mimics that same feeling and rhetoric. That to me really binds our community.
Yeah, it was cool to see. I loved it, seeing it. And Ramel, if you watched the chat last week, he kind of dropped a little hint. Our tokens are special, and so you're gonna want different tokens depending on what's in your deck. Sean and Hit and Run Insurance, they both want a Judas card. Sean says, "Give me that sweet Judas card." So I don't know. They talked about a challenge to collect, right? They want it to be kind of a game to collect as well, not just say, "Hey, here you go." So have fun chasing that one. The last alpha kind of came from Real Biz. He's the one working with the LGSs, and he says his one pager's almost done. I know there's been some requests of, hey, when I go to the shops, I want to be able to present them with something maybe more than your email. Now we have these playtest kits, one pager almost done. He talks how they're working really close with marketing and competitive play. I think it's kind of more to come on that. Does that sound about right, Slappy? You were there yesterday, about more to come on the LGS side?
Yep.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Plenty to come on the LGS side.
Yep. Okay. I know you're talking to Slappy, but he doesn't know how to work his microphone or anything in here, it seems, which is kind of strange.
Hey, he's got this all set up, so it's
yeah,
better.
He's staring into the mic. I can read lips. It's pretty bad what he's saying.
When he's ready,
you can't say that. It's 2024, brother.
Yeah.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
There he is. Yeah. So,
yes.
So, do you have any other thing about Real Biz?
Yep. No. So the one thing I will say is we just have to work through Real Biz, his connection. But I'm looking forward to maybe getting Real Biz to have a weekly spot so he can keep giving us an update on LGS. We just have to work on his connectivity issues. And yes, jackasses, I know how to work my microphone, but it was when the microphone is white, it's supposed to be on. So when it doesn't react. Hey, and one thing, just to let you know, I'm working in the background. I'm going to put this out in all the channels that I let folks know. They could follow us in either Twitter or YouTube or X. Twitter just made a change that live streaming now is restricted to premium accounts. And in the Radish family of Twitter channels, our card breaking channel, our Radish digital account, those are premium. We had not gone premium on Radish Wonders yet. We did as of yesterday, but it must be a lag effect because just to let you guys know, right now we're streaming live in YouTube. We're not streaming live on X. Of course, I checked that once we went on, but just for folks who are watching this in YouTube and said, hey, you said this was going to be live in X. So just to let you know, I thought we finally broke the curse of Twitter where their tech always ruins our programming. And like literally since we went to this new format, we've had zero problems with them. And this one, it's one of those things for the folks who have subscribed to premium on Twitter. It takes a couple days for that giant corporation to recognize you. So hopefully by next week, we'll test it out, but we should be good. And we'll get into the tournament in a little bit, Loko, but it's also because we're going to be using some of the Radish Twitter accounts for the streaming of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
I will say, Slappy, It is incredibly fitting. Then perhaps Judas did it. You know, that's all I really have to say on the matter. It's adding to the lore, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm thinking I really want that Judas card, but part of me is thinking is it bad karma to have it? Because I mean, Kisher said you don't want this in your deck. I want it as a collector's piece, but if just having it is that bad karma to have
Right?
that card
Is
too?
it bad juju? Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out. I mean, you certainly shouldn't have it in your deck, right? But whether or not you have it in your collection, we'll see.
More to come, right? All right. Well,
yes, indeed.
Yeah, Phil says X is such a trash platform. I think if they just watch this show, they'd see the show itself as premium, and that might just get us access, but we'll see. Slappy, you said talk about the tournament later, but are you in Wicked ready right now?
Wicked?
I'm ready.
Yeah,
And-
so
all
let's
right.
talk tournament.
Wait, hold on.
Slappy and Wicked.
Yeah, you can't just say Wicked. Introduce him. Give him the proper respect he is due, Loko.
Proper respect. Enter
In
Wicked,
the red corner,
right?
with 3 wins, 0 losses, the indomitable, the undefeated, Wicked!
Wah, wah, wah.
Thank you
I
for
think
that, but it is 4 wins.
4 wins, no
Oh.
stone loss. He has
Four wins.
28 stones under his
Fantastic.
belt. His pockets would be full if he was at a live tournament carrying those stones around. You got some big stones in
Yeah,
those pants,
exactly.
Wicked. Let's go.
All right,
So,
Wicked.
What
So
do you got?
What's that?
All right. So
Oh.
tournament, you've qualified.
Yep.
What's your take on this tournament? We got seeding tonight. We'll announce. We got tomorrow the bracket. What are your thoughts here?
It's been a lot of fun. I do wish some people played a little bit earlier because maybe I would have had more time to play them before going into the bracket. But I do love seeing how many people are trying to scramble to make it to it right now. It's hopefully I'll be able to stream some of their games while I'm off today. But I think the whole thing was a great idea. I'm glad you guys structured it too, because the previous version I wasn't going to be able to compete in. So I do appreciate that because I've been having a blast playing with everyone. I haven't played any of them before, so I've met a lot of new people through it, and just been enjoying playing the game.
Yeah, I love the format. I know Bear touched on it a couple weeks ago where it feels like it was like Yu-Gi-Oh, right? We're dropped off on the island. We're searching for those people to duel. Like, loved it. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
That is definitely true because you do have to definitely find your own opponents right now. And it's funny you mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh too. Is so these versions of the cards, because I'm on the playtest team, I've seen the other ones. This meta is lawless, and I love it. There's some serious big plays.
Good. What
Absolutely.
are some things you've seen then? Like, have you mostly seen pre-builts you're facing against? Have you seen more people deck building? I know you're playing more of a custom deck. What have you seen?
Only one of my opponents has played a pre-built. It was the Onus, I believe. And after that match, I spent a lot of time trying to convince him to build his own deck. But every other opponent has brought customs out. A couple people actually have been using a deck very similar to mine, and I thought it was pretty neat that they were trying to go down the same path I chose.
And that's interesting that you had that conversation with the Onus, because the Onus started out, he lost 6-1 to Mazdalan. His second game, he lost 7-0 to Wicked. And then let me tell you, after this conversation with Wicked, so again, the Onus starts out 0-2. Next one, he beats I'm Kind of Trash 4-3. Next one, he beats Big Dobbs 4-3. Next one, he beats Cautious Fishes 4-3. Next one, he beats Cryptatum 4-3. And then he just got whooped by Prism Bender today, 6-1. But to Wicked's point is, after that discussion with Wicked, he went from 0-2 to 4-2. So 4-2. So it's 4 game straight win streak for him after talking.
Wow.
So I try.
Oh my goodness.
I definitely try with all the opponents to do a little coaching afterwards, because I want them all to do well. In all honesty, everyone who's doing well, that's great. That means it'll be more fun in the bracket. But you know, I'm not saying they, you know, the onus or they, you know, kind of get discouraged after losing, but you know, a lot of the times it's a simple play mistake that, you know, they didn't anticipate. And so I've been playing competitive card games for a while at a professional level for a while. So I try and do my best to kind of help them and coach them afterwards. I mean, not to sound, you know, like a try hard, but you know, it's not good to, you know, actually coach during the match, right? If you help yourself lose. So, you know, definitely
Totally.
afterwards, I spend as much time as they have to help them go through it.
Speaking of coaching, Wicked, Joe says, looks like Wicked remembers all the lessons I taught him. So is this like is it the trickle down effect from Joe, or is this really from you? That's what I need to know.
It's a inside joke.
funny.
But you know, to keep it going, yeah, I learned everything about the game from Joe. Yeah, every single thing I learned from Joe, even though I was in the playtest team before him. But hey, is what it is.
So I have a question. So Wicked, are you essentially you're number one in the world right now?
At Wonders, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
In previous
Rank
card games, I was number one in America for a couple years and two in the world. There was just one guy in New Zealand I couldn't catch up with. But as far as other card game rankings, I've dropped actually pretty low. I stopped playing any card game competitively for about a year and a half until a friend showed me this one. I actually said I'll never touch another card game again, and here we are playing this one.
That's awesome.
Well, it's brilliant to have you here, man. And out of interest, which games were you ranked in?
Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, Flesh and Blood. That will. So I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but if you go to their website, they actually have an article about me. And I was featured in like 7 or 8 of their other competitive Meta Watch articles. But I had a lot of fun playing that. But playing at that level, there's a lot of traveling, a lot of practicing, and a lot of stress that came with it. So, you know, I took the break, you know, for sanity, I guess, because I mean, it was all I was doing, like just 7 days a week. I remember playing. I played in an online tournament during COVID. That was a 200-person international that started at 8 a.m., finished at 5, and then drove and then played in another 13-round tournament at a comic shop the same day. And so, like, I was putting in, you know, like literally like 16 hours a day into playing events, even while I wasn't at, you know, majors or regionals.
Wow. Well, Wicked, make sure to get us that article so we can post it at radishwonders.com. I know everybody would love to obviously hear more about you. And Loko, I know you have a packed show today, and we warned people this one's going to run a little bit long, which is fine. Is that you guys are? I know you, Loko, you're always worried about drolling on, but honestly, you have such exciting information. Nobody's going to see that. Like, you take the time you need. I know you have to move on, so I just want to cover the standings quick. And also, Loko, you're still good tonight to once the competition closes at 10 o'clock Eastern for the play-in portion. Then you agreed to come on and do a show tonight. Just talk about the seating for tomorrow, kind of like a preview.
Yeah, we'll do a little preview. I mean, it won't be as fancy as like the EM draw or World Cup draw or something like that. But yeah, we'll do a little preview, see who's going to line up in the brackets. So if you're really chomping at the bit to see it, yeah, we'll have something up tonight.
Okay, and then one thing, just folks can see on that, I shared the screen. I shared the screen right there. But as you can see, the spirit animal coming in late. Of course, the spirit animal didn't play any games. Didn't play any games in the early days. But he's coming in the last 2 days. He's already 2-0. So Cryptatum, of course, he's looking at this at 3-1. He's currently the number 3 seed. Of course, you have to have 3 games to qualify to be in bracket Saturday. So Cryptatum said he's over in France and he's dealing with the time zone difference. And he said, hey, I'm at 75%. I can't catch Wicked or Prison Bender, right? There's no way. And of course he can't unless Prison Bender tries to catch Wicked, and then he falls into trouble and he starts losing games. So Cryptatum is the spirit animal is going to qualify today. He's going to be at 3-0, but you can see the stone differential is 3. Meanwhile, Cryptatum has an astounding 15 stone differential. So Spirit Animal is not going to, if he goes 7-0, he's going to have a 10 stone differential. So is it possible Spirit Animal might get in 2 games, 3 games, and again, win those games? And so is he going to be able to jump ahead of Cryptatum? So Cryptatum's going to watch it right now, and he's dealing with the time difference, but he might wake up tomorrow to find out that Spirit Animal actually jumps him and grabs that number 3 seed. But right now, Cryptatum he's staying put where he is. And then of course you've got, so right now you have Cryptatum and Mazdalin. They're 3 and 4 seeds, both 3 and 1 stone differential there. You've got Drakenil. He's been coming in hot. This I think it was today that he just picked up another win to move to 2 and 1. He's got a 3 stone differential. Weasel and the Onus are there. You see -1, and then you can see the Onus. Those first couple games when he got smoked, the Onus has got a winning percentage, but a -13 stone differential, and that's from those early matches he had. And then Ben Stonerunner, he just came in. He's 1 and 1. He thrashed Jen today, so he's got a neutral stone differential. And then you've got I'm kind of trash. Who I got to tell you, if you were to give an award for the heart of the tournament community, it's I'm kind of trash. He knows he could play this strategically. He could have stopped playing, but he is willing to help everybody qualify. He's taking everybody on. And so that's reflected. He's got a losing record now where I can't remember where he was. I think he was like 4 and 2. He's now 5 and 6. He's got a -8 stone differential. He's holding on to that 8 seed right now, just barely. But of course, Ben Stonerunner is looking to qualify as well. And then of course, you've got Brutus 40 and Cautious Fishes. They have qualified. They have the necessary games, but they need to play additional games to move ahead to that 8 seed. And then, of course, down below, we've got Big Dobbs, Thumper, Gen Con, Filizino, Loko, and Marky Marks all at the bottom. And I do just want to point out that 2 of our judges, 2 of our resident experts, Loko and Filizino, you'll notice that they're right there at 0 and 2. And so I guess Filizino has bragging rights over Loko because he's got a -4 stone differential, and Loko has a -8 stone differential. So congratulations, Filizino.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. I'm okay with that.
I have
Absolutely.
the biggest surprise for me on this whole thing by far is that Gen Con only has a negative, what is it, 3 differential?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like -16.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, so lots of tournament tips coming up from some other experts as well. Joe saying that Wicked's weakness is flying whales. So if you face him, so you'd look for flying whales. Filizino's like, that's everyone's weakness. Maybe he saw a few flying whales.
So
Romel,
Joe actually deserves some props for that. He hard casted 2 flying whales in a match we played. And so that's 20 energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
But you kept all the stones in that match, or did you play?
Oh
him?
no, I lost terribly. 4 flying whales is a big
Mm.
deal. But yeah, he should definitely be on the flavor text for that.
I like that.
So a couple
Romel?
of things here. One being just all of this talk about the strategy is really my favorite part of this tournament so far. The fact that there is so much that goes into not just the macro of like what GTO decision are you making during your game, like what are you sacrificing, which stones are you, what are you predicting from your opponent, but also this micro that we're experiencing where you have to be so careful about which games you're playing and how you're going to rise in the ranks. And to me, this makes this tournament really quite unique and quite exciting. And it perfectly mimics this comment that Romelo's just made, that if you are the 8th seed, you may want to try to move up. And that really being because, we have just over 8 hours now. And it's all very exciting because who knows? Will 8th be 5th? Will 8th no longer? Will 7th no longer qualify? There's just so much that is yet to come. And I've also had the pleasure of playing against I'm Kind of Trash a couple of times, and you're so right. His determination is really something to look out for. Kind of a sleeper. And I think we should all be very careful despite his 8th place seed currently.
Yeah, and if you're in that Discord, it was quiet for a while, and these last couple days, just alert, notification, alert. So those channels are popping. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of movement today, to be honest with you.
Oh, definitely.
All right. Anything else on the tournament, Slappy or Wicked?
I
The
just
only
want to
thing,
say good luck to everyone.
oh, and I should say there was one update to the standings that came in while I was preparing for the show, is that Cautious Fishes versus Marky Mark, is that Cautious Fishes ended up winning 4-2. So got to update that. So
Ooh,
Marky
wow.
Mark's trying to get in a lot of matches today, but that was the latest. So we'll get that updated.
Yeah.
Thanks.
A
Thanks,
further
Loki.
thing, Wicked. How did you win 7-0? What happened?
So normally I play a late game deck or a slower play deck.
Sure.
But for this one, I played very aggressively, and in all honesty, I just took every stone on every round.
I
And
see.
if every time they tried to combat a stone, I just reinforce it. And most of my opponents were just essentially playing catch up the whole time, so I was able to just continually advance to each realm.
I see. You
I
were playing
so
hard
the
and fast aggro.
yeah, I gave Wicked Loko the deck I was using last night to kind of check it out, and it was great because he actually, after looking through it, immediately found a counter for it. So I'll be playing a new one for the bracket. But yeah, I don't think, and it's probably just because I have experience or a lot of it with this game, that people anticipated such an aggressive strategy. And I do think after
Sure.
playing some people now, it's being employed, and so it should be exciting tomorrow for the bracket, because we should definitely see a lot of aggressive games and aggressive plays, in my opinion.
100%. It's a great observation.
Thanks, Wicked, for coming on. It's a lot of fun hearing your take on it, and we are blessed to have your knowledge here with us as well. So we hope you keep playing, of course. And I like getting to know you more and more. You're a fun guy.
Hey, you too, and thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure. This is absolutely great. You guys are doing a community-driven series like this, and so I look forward to watching them all. And I'll be on anytime you guys ask me.
Awesome. Thanks, Wicked.
Amazing, Wicked. Thank you.
All right, let's move to Fish, move to Hawkwind a little bit. So we've gotten questions in Discord regarding our Kickstarter. I imagine it's because the backer kit survey is going out. People are making those choices. So do you have any input on that? And then the second part, as you tease us with that hat and with that shirt, we get a constant ask about what merch can we get. So if you have some input on those two things, that would be awesome to start with.
Sure. The backer kit, Kickstarter. So we have everybody's already prepaid, right? So you paid through Kickstarter. That's all prepaid. We took away the taxes. We're going to eat those ourselves as a company. So as a result, if you don't buy any upsells through backer kit, you're all paid for. So you just need to fill out the survey to be able to say what address you're shipping it to, and then to confirm your order. That's really it. So 81% of the people who backed us have filled out the survey as of now. So the rest of you guys need to fill it out because you've already paid for it. It's not like that you can just sit on it and not do anything and then it'll go away. So we will.
Can I say, Loko? I love the fact that Hawkwind is like, talk about blunt. He's like, so the rest of you need to do it. Like, yes, Dad.
And it's like high risk. It's not like a math assignment where it's like you need to do it, and they're like, okay. I mean, you've paid, right? So like, you paid, you're done. What's the due date on this? Because I think I got an alert that told me when it's due. When do I need to have this done by?
End of the month, July 31st.
July 31st. And if I don't fill it out, I mean, it's just a donation at that point, correct?
I'll
yeah. We're just sending you bits of cardboard.
Love it.
No, just DM me and I can make magic happen.
But we want the magic to happen before July 31st. That's
what precisely.
I need a really good excuse in those DMs.
Yeah, you'll lose like 10% of your boosters or something, right?
Yeah. So that's where we're at on that. And as you can see, there's a new sales page up at the Shop Wonders. And that's for this is really important. That's for the playtest, the pre-release playtest kit. That's what it's called. Right there it is. We'll do the unboxing later. And that's up for sale now. But everybody who does buy a additional booster box which is the collect and play base, not the first edition, but the base, will actually get a free first edition mini box. So that's a pretty big deal.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
super important. I want everyone to be clear on this, and Bear, Hawk, anyone can correct me if I'm wrong. But first edition was done with the Kickstarter, correct?
Yes.
So I get this collect and play booster, the existence. It's not first edition, but the mini box that comes is first edition.
Yep. And I've already had someone ask, like, well, you guys said that you closed it once the Kickstarter was done. So what's going on? And so it's a pretty simple answer, actually, is that we actually had this all figured out before we closed Kickstarter. This is part of the promo and overages. You always have to, I'm going to go through printing. Is that right? I'll get to that. Okay.
Someone's asked about that too. Yeah.
But in printing, you do overages. That's for customer service. That's for promos. That's for marketing. And then variety of things that can happen. And so with the first edition, we actually baked into the card count in the beginning, before Kickstarter, these mini booster boxes as promos. It'll help sell the actual game to people to get it in their hands. So it's not like we just decided to open it up again and then print more of these packs of first edition for the mini booster boxes. It was all planned that way.
Okay.
Take advantage of it. I can tell you that. It's not like there's a ton. There's only a set amount. And no, I'm not going to tell you what that is.
Probably 3. Maybe
6.
5. There's 5 of us. You're 6. There's 6. Okay, maybe 6.
Yeah. So that's what's up for sale now. Get into the merchandising part. I want to just state this up front. We need to get through National and finish up Kickstarter and then Backer Kit. And get through National, and then we're also going to Gen Con. And there, so that is a big one too. Once we get past these 2, 3, 4 weeks, then we can actually start doing the other growth that we're going to do, from tournament, community outreach, to figuring out the tournament play, to a bunch of really cool stuff that's going to be front-ended on our website. That's going to be a really big one for the community. And I can only tease a little bit on that one. Has anyone ever heard of that, what I'm talking about, or even know what I'm saying? No. So it looks like we're partnering with someone that's going to provide a lot of front-end services for
A ton.
For card decks, databases, for the how you actually do the tournament numbers, or the score on the cards, for how powerful they are. Whole bunch of other things. Oh my God, it's crazy the amount of utility that you're going to see coming forward on supporting and actually providing utility to our customer base, the backers. It's going to be great. I'm going to leave it at that, very vague for right now. But my God, you will all be so impressed. There'll be an episode or 2 just about this when it's announced. So with that said, I have a growing list of merchandise. Some of them we've already, Nancy Margaret at the company does a great job sourcing, and so does our printer. And so we've actually already sourced some of this stuff. We've actually found lead times, costs, all that kind of thing. And then other ones are on the list that we want to take a look at, but it's a list as of now. It's a list that we're working on, but I got to be honest and upfront, because we're always trying to be transparent. We don't have the time to do that right now.
Sure.
We need to get through what I mentioned before, then we're going to look at that list. Merchandising is something in my background that I've done before and headed up. So it's something that's near and dear to my heart. Plus, I've been playing Magic the Gathering since 1995, continuously. So it's a big deal. In fact, I want to tell you my tournament story. I know that Wicked told his, right? So my tournament story is this. In 1997, I went to my first Magic tournament, which happened to be a world qualifier. And back then I drank. I don't drink anymore. But back then I drank with my buddies. There are 3 guys that I've known since I was, well, one of them since 6th grade, and a couple others since I was 20. We all go to the tournament. We might have drank some malt liquor, which is not advisable at all. And we go into the place, and first off, there was like 2,500 players there, so it was crazy loud. Also, it was packed like gill to gill, so you could smell everyone. That was another thing that really stood out in my mind. But so I play, and I beat the first 2 people, so I'm moving up. I'm pretty happy. And then the next dude I play has a full set of real chainmail on, including the freaking helmet. He literally has full set. He's like 6'3", by the way, 6'4". And I'm like, is that real? And I'm like, touching it and stuff. And he's like, yeah, he's got his own posse behind him at a Magic tournament, like these hanger-ons that are all like fawning to without any kind of chainmail. So I might have been, drinking a little, like I said. So I'm like, dude, instead of flipping a coin to see who goes first, let's arm wrestle. And so the guy's like, yeah, I'll arm wrestle you. I don't know if this has been done. I didn't see it before. So sit down, get ready, get into the arm wrestling, and right away you can know if you're going to beat someone for the most part, lose, or how long it can last. So right away I know that I'm going to last a while, but I'm going to lose. But I'm like inebriated, so I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and go with it as long as possible. So I'm struggling. I'm paying attention. Like, hey, maybe he'll let up and I can win. By the way, he's got a gauntlet on and these van braces on his arm that are all made out of steel. So I told him he has to take off his gloves, his metal gloves. And so we're arm wrestling. It's wiggling back and forth. It's probably 8 minutes, realistically. It felt longer. And then I look up. There's over 100 people watching us in the whole tournament. And they're just all just ringed around me. And they're all chanting for Chainmail Guy to win. And so then he wins, and the whole place erupts into this loud, boisterous noise. And I'm just there in the middle of it, and everyone's congratulating Chainmail Guy. And then, to top it all off, he beats me. So now I can't even be in the running for a placement or anything. So that's my story.
That's an incredible story, man. So unique.
I don't even know what we're supposed to follow. I mean, how do we follow that? I mean, this is it.
I'm not sure we can. I think we need to cut the show now. That's it.
Dang, man.
I'll tell you exactly what I told you. It's to give me some props on actually doing card games, like CCG card games. I've been around a long time doing it. So when we go to merchandise, there's a tie-in here. I try to weave. The tie-in is I know what I would want as a player. I know what I've seen since 1995 in this space. Not just in Magic and others. And I've also listened. One of the biggest things is listening to other people and then bringing it up. So the list that I have is both realistic, I would say, and community driven. But there's always options for more ideas. Some of it, though, it's more of it would be great to have, but it's probably not likely. That doesn't mean I cut it off. It just means that I'm being realistic about it. So with that said, anybody want to ask anything on merchandising?
Yeah, I'll have one more thing, but first we need to get you more than a mod shield in the Discord. We need to get you like an ear or like an old man beard or something. Shows that this is like the wise wizard that's been around and is going to listen.
Slappy White has that one. He brings it up all the time.
So Bear, I don't know who we can get that to happen, but I think he needs something else than
on it right now. Yeah, on it.
Let me as you're talking, find it.
There was one big question, Hawkwind. It was around the early bird bonus for that original Kickstarter. So I'm probably going to misspeak here, but I forget if it was order within 30 minutes or order within an hour in that first Kickstarter. I think we got like double or something was serialized. I can't remember what. So people are concerned. They're asking what's happening to that early bird bonus from the first Kickstarter. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. So it was the first 30 minutes. And I think we actually upped it. And there's a cutoff, and I don't have it available in front of me, but I actually have the order number where the first early bird actually was done. So I do have that number. We're all set on who it's going to be.
You don't have it in front of you? You don't, what is it? Is it in your bathroom? I mean, like right now you're at your office. Like literally, why would it not be in front of you? Like you're live?
Yes. I hate to tell you, but this is actually filling up all my laptop's memory. I'm barely running on this, so nothing will open for me.
Can you tell everybody how much did you pay for that laptop? I know how much you paid for it. How much did you pay for it?
No, it was free actually. This is a newer one, Slappy White.
Oh, okay. How much did you pay for the last one? Tell them that.
I paid for a full working laptop that I used for 4 years for business, $150.
All right.
Anyway,
Um,
so
there
to
is
go
one
back
more.
to
There's one more question regarding the mini boosters. Ramel asks, how many mini boosters could one get if you order like a case of cards? Is there a limit on things?
a case of mini boosters is, well, case of mini booster box would be 6 boxes. And then within the 6 boxes, there is 6 packs, I'm pretty sure. Again, if I could open up my spreadsheet, I could figure it out.
No, you're good. What about in reference to the deal that's going on right now? If I get if I get my little kit here and I add on a collector's booster, is there a limit to how many of those mini boosters I could get? That promo that's going on right now.
So right now it's you can only buy one booster box upsell that comes with a mini box. So as a result, you can only get one.
So one, perfect.
Per account.
Ooh.
I didn't.
Wow.
I'm just saying that for clarification. I'm not telling anyone to do anything.
Right. Per account. Got you.
So to go back to the early bird. So what it is it's called a silver box topper. If you know any sports cards, it's a topper that goes on. And in fact, Magic actually has been doing toppers more recently in the last couple of years. It's a pack by itself. It's silver, and it'll be on top of inside a sealed box. That's for every first edition booster box gets one sealed inside. So that's for everyone that did it. Now, the earliest bird, I'm going to call earliest bird and early bird. The earliest bird at that 30 minutes to an hour, because we gave some leeway. That one is the most. So what you had to do is you had to order then on the first Kickstarter, and then you also had to order on the second, the live Kickstarter. And the emails has to match up. Otherwise, we don't know how to do it. So as long as that happened, which we stated in a couple of emails, I found the old emails, then you get a serialized extra silver box topper outside the box. I'm going to tell you right now that personally, those things are going to be well sought after. Like, it's going to be a big deal, I think.
I agree. Yeah,
because they're serialized. There isn't any of the other box toppers in that group. These are all 30 unique cards that it could be in the silver box topper. No other serialization is happening except for that.
And Hawkwood, knowing you won't be able to resist it. You won't keep any sealed, will you? You'll rip everything.
Rip them all.
Yeah.
I have 6 serialized boxes. I've got like 18 regular boxes. Paid all real full price for all these, by the way. And I'm ripping them all.
I love it.
So we'll go back to and then if you order within 48 hours, so it's like post 1 hour to 48 hours, then you're going to get an extra silver box topper pack just outside the box. Same thing, it's inside a box, you get an extra one outside.
Nice. Joe says you can bribe some judges this weekend with boosters, and there's no limit to how much you can bribe for. All right, thanks, Hawk.
I got 4 other things I want to just do real quick.
Go.
I'm going to throw you off. Number 1, so people understand, Slappy White and I grew up in college together. So I met him when I was 18. So we've known each other since then. So if he makes fun of me, it's because he's mean. And if I make fun of him, it's because I've known him a long time. Just want to make sure everyone understands. So that's one. Told you about my Magic. Nationals. So we will have a booth. So there's a main booth of ours that will have Bo Jackson Battle Arena. And then part of the booth, a section will be for Wonders. So if you're going to National, starting on Wednesday through Sunday of this upcoming week in Cleveland, Ohio, definitely come by the Wonders booth. We're going to have a section on Thursday and Friday. We're going to actually have Beat Tinsman. That's what we're calling it. So you get to play the main creator, designer of our Wonders that used to work with Pokemon, used to design, head designer of Magic for a while, and so on. Beat him, and we'll figure out something to give you. So, plus, I want to be able to rub it in his face.
Is this at Wonders or is this at Jiu-Jitsu? We need clarification on what we're trying to beat him with. Wonders or Jiu-Jitsu?
Jiu-Jitsu. So he sent us internally sent us a picture. His family went to Iceland last week, and he's inside a UFC ring with his gi on for Jiu-Jitsu, and he sends us that picture. No other pictures, just of himself.
Zero context. Yeah.
Yeah.
just
looking up in the
just fighting John Jones. Yeah.
But no,
Sure.
Bear, do you have anything to add for Nationals, Bear? Are you going to be there? Anything else to add?
Yes, actually, I will be there at Nationals. Do I have anything to add? Not much other than it's going to be an incredible time. We have a ton of really exciting things planned. We're going to be, also just the fact that we're showcasing the brand at such a huge event, that to me feels like a really exciting step in the right direction, certainly from a media perspective, right? And then also, like, if you want to show up, if you want to end up on our social media, we'll be posting a number of reels throughout Nationals. So, it's a great opportunity to get those beautiful faces of yours on the Wonders Instagram. So we'd love to see you there, guys.
And I want to mention this. Last year, the community gets so excited. So Discord community. So the people that can't make it, which are the vast majority, will be doing updates. They get FOMO, like I'm not there. What's going on? How's it going? So Bear's going to commit to doing updates, and I'll help him on that, on what's there and stuff. Plus, Slappy White usually does an okay job of also doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So Loko, can you just remind me, because Hawkman had a lot of great information, but the deadlines, the must-dos.
Yeah.
So just before he goes, what was it, Hawk? What were Loko? Do you want to recap for him? So just
I got more things too.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Let's see. Let's do a recap real quick. So if anyone snips here like 4633, you want to make sure your backer kit survey is done July 31st. That is this July 2024 31st. What is that, like 12 days from now? Because you already paid for it. So if you don't add anything to your car upsale or anything, you've paid for it. We want you to get what you need and want. So I think that was the big one.
There's one other date, which is important. Literally after I get off this call, I'm going to charge the credit cards for anyone who bought an upsell through the survey.
So today, if you bought something, your credit card will be charged. Okay.
Again, to be clear, because it confuses people. If you bought on Kickstarter and don't want to do anything else, your credit card's not being charged. This is only if you bought extra through the survey on Backer Kit, a couple extra upsells that we had. Only if you did that will you be charged.
Gotcha.
All right, let me show you. Oh, I want to mention one other thing. Dude, I don't know if people are really realizing how collectible these tokens will be and how many there's a lot of collectors that are completists. They want to get the complete set. I'm guessing this myself, that the tokens are going to be one of the hardest ones to get a complete set of, because we've got promos, we've got this, we got that, we got it in various specials. There's the Kickstarter ones. So I'm just throwing it out to the community that, hey, I think there's going to be a thriving market or secondary market around tokens. That's my personal look.
That's a great point, and especially because there is something special about the way that Wonders treats tokens. The fact that these tokens are not just placeholders like in other games, but they are truly they have they have values on them, and the tokens are actual game pieces. That's a really important distinction. And so, what a token literally means a different thing to a Wonders player than it would to a Magic player or such like brand. Yeah.
Let me answer Joe real quick in comments. This is what I was going into next, Joe.
Wait, can you read the question, Hawkman? So he says, will we be able to get the uncut foil sheet graded and slabbed?
The answer is, I actually don't know if graders do. If graders do grading on sheets, then yes, because we've actually sent a bunch of our proofs on, and we will be doing this with graders so that they'll be prepared to be able to grade our stuff. I don't know if you can grade a sheet. I've never seen an uncut sheet graded, but I could be wrong. Although I do I do a lot of submittals to PSA.
Yeah.
but I
So
only-
Hawkwin is, for people who know, when you say that, is like, because I have known you for years, how cavalierly you say I don't know, is that for some people they'd say like, well, can they really? But how many cards do you think you've submitted for grading in your lifetime? Hawkwin, would you
well,
just guess?
I did 40 yesterday. to
Okay,
PSA.
so, and you've been doing it for how many years?
4 years now.
Okay, and I mean, but you've done, is it over 1,000 that you've submitted, do you think, or hundreds?
No, probably like 750.
Okay, so you've been collecting since a child. You submit for grading and slabbing. So that to me says a lot. When you said you're not familiar if an uncut sheet's been done before, which I say that would be great if this could be the first uncut sheet that was graded and slabbed. Take that honor. So that's a challenge to you and the Wonders team.
Yeah,
That is a huge
Joe says the same thing. Joe says can't find anyone, but how sick would it be if we're the first ones to get that done?
Well, here's my
Right.
recommendation. Oh, that's interesting. So Magic has uncut sheets, right? Magic the Gathering, and they don't have those graded, I don't think. So it would be a really big challenge for us. But one thing I might mention is from a consumer point of view, so you guys could actually ask Tag, because they're newer, up and coming. We've been in talks with them quite a bit. But if you actually ask Tag, it'd be interesting to see what they would say. That's my suggestion. So that goes into actually, oh God, my cursor won't even show up on this computer. Okay, that goes into what I wanted to explain last. This is about the print production. So, how much detail? I have show and tell, by the way. So this is why it's exciting. How much detail do you want on the printing process, or do you want me to just go into show and tell?
I guess I'm curious. So since I'm gonna unbox this, and I've seen a couple pictures. I've heard, like, whoa, this is not the quality we're doing. But then I've also heard people be impressed with this quality itself. So it's like, I get that this is not final product. This is not what we're going to be seeing from the Kickstarter. But I guess I want to know what I'm going to open today. How is that going to be comparing to what I'm going to open potentially November?
Totally different printers. Totally different. A lot of things different on that. The design and all the front end work is going to be from the same people within our company, Wonders. So the actual printing, Nancy Margaret did all of this internally at Wonders. So she's the one that everybody should thank. I thought it'd be worse quality personally, and I was okay with that because we've said it all along. It's pretty good quality. I can tell you though, at the printer, it will be better.
Oh yeah.
So it's a different process because we want to get that done as soon as possible so we get something into your hands, something that you can start playing with friends on.
Yeah. And then just so people know, Fish, you're close to this facility that we'll be printing at, correct?
Yeah. So I've been there. So let me tell you, the last 2 days, yesterday and the day before, I drove to the printer, did some stuff, and they're like, hey, it's going to take us 2 hours. So I drove back home, ate lunch, then drove back to the printer. And I did that multiple times during one day. So that's how close. 20 minutes.
All right.
And that's by coincidence, not on purpose.
Gotcha.
Which is crazy. So the printing process itself. So our sister company is Bojack's Battle Arena. And at National, it's going to be part of the booth that we have Wonders with. So it'll be Bojackson Battle Arena, and then Wonders. And so I had to do a bunch of stuff at the printers yesterday for the Bo Jackson Battle Arena. And so let me start with this. This is not, so Joe asked about the foiled uncut sheet. The foiled uncut sheet's a little bit smaller, and I got to figure it out how we're going to do that because foils are as an additional process at the printer. But this is Bo Jackson. Here's what an uncut sheet looks like. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I got to take off. You're going to see my office / room. Let me take off the blur. Come on, blur.
Drum roll, everyone.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah, You need to get that on your as wallpaper, Hawkwind, so you don't need to worry about blurring the background. Just do that and we won't notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is badass for sure.
So
This is the same facility that Wonders is going to be printing at?
100%. Same people I'm going to work with, everything. So what's happening is because of Bojack's, we're also dialing in all the stuff before Wonders, which is a really big deal. So they know what we want already and so on. So this is an uncut sheet, right? Really cool looking, great quality. This is probably the first sheet actually of Bojack's ever printed. So I have it in my hands.
Ooh.
No
cotton gloves, huh?
something that's cool. This is how you actually do. This is much thicker stock. This is how you do the box. You know the box around a booster box? It prints out all on one big sheet. So those are like the sides, the top, all that kind of stuff. And then here's the other side of it. The black part on here is what the bottom looks like, the inside looks like. And then you can see all the writing for the top and the bottom of the box, sides and so on.
All I can think about you as somebody who you're a player and a collector, and all I can think about is all this crap that you're getting. Hawkwind is like, I know what's happening to it. Yeah, I know what kind of vault that's going in.
Oh, I love it.
This is going straight to the office in South Carolina.
And there's not that one is. What about the other one in your closet, Hawkwind?
I don't get that till
Right.
hold on, let me. In fact, this one's so important. I have to roll it back up before I finish showing you all this stuff.
I'm sure the local printer who has a guy 20 minutes away and is happy to keep this business probably isn't doing anything to keep Hawkwind happy. Yeah, I'm sure he's not giving him.
Oh my God, they I'll get to the part where actually I was so demanding on the printer yesterday that the guy who helps us, Gavin, he's an intermediary. He's the expert and does all the setup and works with the printer. And we actually go through him. He's unbelievably good. Been doing just cards for 20 years. And he actually got yelled at a little bit by the printer because of all the changes going on and how much labor they're exhausting out on the printer for this stuff. So I've just got to find my other rubber band, man. I got to keep track of this.
You should see if you can get a special pain in the ass of the first poster done.
Oh my God,
Just for the printers. Special edition for the printers and all their hard work.
All right, I can't find that, so hopefully one will work. So this is the first ever Bojack's box, but it's going to look a little different size. This only, we're going to have more cards, more packs in the regular the Wonders booster box. If you remember, there's 30 packs in there of 12 cards each. And on this one, I can't remember. There's two. This is a starter kit. So there's two pre-made decks of 100 cards each, plus a few other things in here. But this gives you an idea of what the box looks like. If you can see, the shrink wrap isn't the best. So when I actually went yesterday to the printer, they actually they're really accommodating, and they actually said, "Hey, this isn't good. You need to rewrap it." And they rewrapped all of it. So before it got shipped out this morning, that was yesterday. So they're really attentive, and they're really want to do the best job possible. But that's also why they hated me yesterday. Questions so far? Because I got one more thing to show.
Didn't he say one more thing 2 things ago, Loko?
Yeah. Last thing. This is like show and tell at my wife's preschool.
Last
one, Fish. Ooh.
Wow.
You want me to take it out?
No.
Hold on. I got to get my museum quality gloves on. Yes, this is better than rubber gloves that everyone else uses. This is what you do antiquities with.
A little bit closer to the camera, even closer.
Wait, I got to get, it's got to auto
Focus.
Hold on. It's a little bit.
Thanks.
Oh,
yeah.
Tell me when it's focused.
No, it is. It's good.
good.
Just
No,
keep
it's
going
good.
in. Just a little bit closer. A little bit closer. A little bit closer. I don't really want to see that. Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Okay.
So this is Bojack. So these are really important because there's 99 of them in this space right here is where Bo Jackson is going to sign each one on card. So these are like the big chase set in the Bo Jackson.
So, and by the way, Loco, remind me again when Hawkwind kind of transitioned into Bojack stuff. Did we make, and I'm making sure there are no comments in the Discord. Sometimes people go there. Did we make the segue where Hawkwind made it clear that the Wonders team is got a separate product line and that it's the same quality, and look at the packaging?
Separate company.
Yeah, he said sister company.
Yeah,
I think he's showing us.
Okay.
Yeah, he's showing us because they're using the same printer, and so it's,
Yeah,
I imagine
so this is the quality.
Similar quality. All right.
Oh, and actually, you want to know what? But here's one question for you: is that Jam says a good question. That would be awesome. When does Bojack get his own Wonder Bear? Think about that and respond another time. All right. Hey, it's like
Absolutely.
You've got 15 seconds. 15
Good.
seconds.
The last 15 is I actually had to go through every one of those serial cards where there was like 12, 14 printed of them through 3 different printings and pick out the best one for every number. And I used museum gloves. I used a 10K loop with a magnifying glass on it. I mean, a light on it. I was hunched over for over 6 hours picking out the best cards for those 99. So I just want to let you know, we're doing attention to detail that you usually don't see anywhere else.
Yes, sir.
And that's carrying through to Wonders and everything that we're going to get in November. That's
I love it.
That's the segue.
Exactly.
That's the segue.
That's the segue.
Yes.
Back to Wonders. Thank you so much, Fish. We definitely got to get you a different icon in the Discord so people know what you're up to, not just a mod. Now, I'm being honest. I'm a player first. So half that time I kind of glazed over. I'm like, rip that box. Let's see what cards they are. What can I build from it? So I want to talk some strategy here because I don't think last week any strategy was talked. So let me give me like 2 minutes, Bear. I have an interesting question, then I'll let you take over. So I focused a little bit on Patria this week as I was doing some research, and Patria is known as the twin worlds. I don't know if people know that. So the orbital had 2 spheres. Like there's all this talk about Thalwyn being like sea and sky, blah blah blah. But then I looked at Patria and it says these twin worlds, something like elves and apes and the life stream and the jungle's heart. So there's a little bit of lore there.
Yeah.
And it got me digging, and it's like, oh, symbiosis. And I'm like, wait a minute. When I looked, and I'm going to mispronounce this terribly, but when I looked at I think it's the foil card in the starter, and help me out, Bear, is it Exoltol?
To my understanding, is Exolotl.
Exolotl. I was going to say that, but it sounded like an axolotl.
I like how Bear looked at the bulletin board to look at his cheat sheet.
Right.
He's like,
axolotl, the phonetics. And it says this: on arrival, up to 3 target lands become legendary wonders with +1 counters equal to the total number of lands in all zones. And then I went all the way back to a release deck back on April 12th, the original Quantum Terror. And there was Eye of Patria, which has +1 for each land in all realms. And my lands can't be targeted by opponents. So I think there's a sleeper strategy here that's not being highlighted too much on this Patria land idea. So that's kind of where my brain was going. I don't know if you have any input on that.
Dare I say, Loco, perhaps there is a sleeper strategy that is no longer asleep, but very much awake. And I think many people will be very grateful for you raising their awareness to such a thing. Let's see if people play it. But yes, that combination is incredible. I mean, you can do so much, especially with legendary wonders, right? And then like if you're playing spells or items that affect legendary wonders, or passive or active abilities on other wonders, I think you can chain together some pretty ferocious combos. For sure.
Yeah, I was excited to see. I just feel like, just another take on this orbital. And I'm curious to see more about, this twin worlds and the lore behind. I like the stories too. The stuff's cool. The beautiful art and cards are cool, but I really like the story. That's what has the substance in it. And that. Do you have any strategy tips you'd like to share with us this week?
Yeah, I figured actually this week, given that we're pushing into the tournament, I would talk about effectively like strategy for how to refine a practice regimen. You know, I feel like we're talking so much about the macro usually, and I kind of wanted to take this opportunity to touch on the micro. So definitely for structured play, I think consistency is key. Setting a schedule for practice sessions, finding good partners. Also, this is kind of a rogue one, and I'm not sure if people really would agree with this, but this I found was really important for my own, journey playing TCG. Was like when you're preparing for high stakes tournaments, it can be, you can find yourself in uncomfortable positions where you lose your cool. And so I find putting a timer on, like a chess timer, is an incredibly valuable tool. Again, whether or not someone chooses to use that is up to them, but I found that to be particularly helpful because if you practice under stress, it's like when those marathon runners go to like Kilimanjaro and train up in the mountains for a few months and then come down, and when they run their races, their blood is more oxygenated because effectively they've been training in higher stress situations. Another one, very important one, is deck diversification. When you're playing, you have to consider that you might know how to play your deck incredibly well, and that's really good. That's important. But you also need to know how to play against other people's decks, right? And that should inform your decision as a player. For example, if you are playing Umbrathine and you know that your opponent has the dreaded Galactic Sovereign Throne, then you need to adjust accordingly. And effectively, I think it's important to play through as many orbitals as you can, test different strategies, test different archetypes for play too. Then, of course, reviewing and reflecting classically. And that's really it. Like, of course, there's a couple extra things that I've written here, like theory craft. Take time for strategic development away from the table. Don't just like listen to someone else's strategy. Like try to come up with something for yourself. Keep yourself in good mental, physical, health, and then practice through different scenarios as well. If you can find someone who you trust as a player, someone who's very talented, I would say lean on them and accept mentorship, accept coaching. And I think that's the crux of what I've got. And supposedly, or sorry, rather, I'm very excited for everyone over the next, what is it, just under 8 hours now. And over Saturday, I think it's going to be a really culture defining moment.
Okay. Talk about a segue, right? When you said look for somebody who's a mentor, and then of course looking back to the early part of our conversation, the very beginning, who's been a great mentor in the tournament, right, Loko?
Yeah, let's hear. Wicked might have a couple things to add. Bear, that's great advice too. So I took notes on that, so I have it myself. Wicked, what do you have to add to that?
So, to parrot a little bit of what Bear was saying, with your testing partner, you definitely need a testing team or a testing partner if you are trying to take this more serious than just, having fun. But when you're practicing, you don't have to win, and a lot of people that discourages them because they feel like they're beating their head against the wall. But in practice, you're supposed to try stuff you wouldn't normally do. In practice, you're supposed to see what happens if. So if you lose all your practice matches, that means you were actually trying to get better, and you'll probably do better at a major event doing so. And then he talked a little bit about deck building. And learning other decks. That's absolutely true. Without playing against or playing as the other decks, you won't learn what the deck wants to do to win, and you won't learn how that deck loses. So playing all those other decks should be able to put you in a mindset that you can build a deck that has a one-size-fits-all ready to go. Like, you're prepared for what Umberthine's going to do. You know how Patria plays, so you have cards in your deck on for that specific reason.
100%. And I should mention, Wicked, that point that you made, so pertinent about you don't have to win to be successful in your practice. In fact, as you said, like losing can teach you, frankly, so much more than winning ever could. And as long as the intention, of course, is to expand your understanding of the game, to expand your strategy, that's really the most important thing.
Absolutely. Definitely thank you for repeating that, because that part is the most important, I think.
Sounds like you have to
Yeah.
kind of play humbly too, right? As you with your play test partners and everything, just understanding
Oh, yeah.
like this is to grow it, right?
Absolutely. And I did mention earlier, like it's, you want to always you make sure your opponent's playing optimally, so you play optimally. And I kind of joked about not doing that in the middle of the tournament games, but in practice you need to. If you see that your opponent had a more, your testing partner had a better play, you don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to win because they made a mistake. No, you want to make sure they play as optimally as possible, just like you are as well.
For
All
sure.
right. Thanks, guys. Anything else to add on that, Bear or Wicked?
No,
No,
Bear
Wicked's
really
yeah,
covered it.
very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I think that's appreciated. I mean, that's definitely a gem in this show. I think is just thinking about just as a whole, right? As a card game player as a whole, or a game player as a whole, some of those tips you can do. So thanks for that, guys. I appreciate that. All right, well, our time is long here, but let's see maybe what Wonder shipped me. How's that sound, everybody?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put you on the big screen.
Yeah, I've never done one of these before, so be patient. Camera a little bit. Everyone can still hear me okay and stuff. You see part of my house. All right. So here we go. I got my playtest kit from the Wonders team. And we're going to see what's in this thing. Someone asked if it was a Chicago-style pizza. Joe really wanted me to make a cake and then cut into it and be like, this is cake, but don't have time for that. Okay, here we go. Now I saw some, packing slip information. You guys can't know where Loko is. Flip. And I saw some people post some pictures, so I kind of had a little bit of idea, but underrated. No one brought up this idea of the tote bag. I'm a huge fan of tote bags, so I got one new one right here. Wonders of the First tote bag. It's pretty heavy. We'll see what's in there in a second. All right, what do I got here? Ooh. Got myself a sticker. Some people asked about the stickers. Some had them, some didn't. Looks like I have one right here. I have a little one-pager here. It welcomes me to the Wonders of the First pre-release playtest team. Thank you so much. Talks about my 3 decks I got. I can scan to learn how to play. And it looks like all the socials are on there as well. Oh, back to my one-pager here. Tells me about my debts and where I can find out more. Okay. I ordered 2. So looks like I have 2 playmats. Now this actually is a little bit unexpected. I did not expect like a full bore playmat, to be honest with you. I started my there we go. My TCGs with, believe it or not, Magic, and then we went to Star Trek. Yeah. Then I went to Yu-Gi-Oh, and they had these foldable paper ones. So this is a real nice playmat with the rubber backing. You have all your realms there, places for the stones, similar to what you see on Tabletop Simulator. And I believe this one is marked pre-release playtest team. So is this the only way we can get this? Is Hawk still here? Does he know? Is this the only way you're going to get this?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good to know. So I got 2 in there. 1 to play with, 1 to keep. All right. Digging into the bag here. So I have deck 3, pre-made print and play. It says playtest only, not legal for competitive play. Do not grade. Scan the QR code for the official rule guide. Deck 2, same there. It's full of stuff. Here's my second deck 2. Perfect. There's deck number 1. Oh, even some stones. I mean, I'm seeing lots of value here, to be honest with you. Stones 2 and a real play mat. Let's see here. Second deck 1, second set of stones, and the second deck 3. And I got this tote bag now that I can wear, and people can ask me questions about what is Wonders of the First. So let me put aside the ones I'm not going to open, and let's see how well I do with this plastic. This is usually my undoing. These ones I don't care as much about because I'll be playing with these, but let's see what these cards look like. Yeah, Joe, I agree. Get that graphic, put it in the TTS mod. The decks have a seal, yeah. So there's no seal, but like it's cellophane wrapped, and it's not like an easy, you know, where you can sometimes grab and rip. It is all cellophane wrapped, if that answers your question. So similar if I get like a board game or something, typically the cards come cellophane wrapped, but there is no like gold seal of the Wonders on it. But I want to see what these cards look like. So here we go.
I have to say, you know, Loko, you mentioned you're more of a player than a collector. I think any collector watching you just take those scissors and jamming the edge of that would agree that you're definitely a player, not a collector.
Hey, I got these 3 right here.
Yeah, the way are those antiquity gloves that you're holding them with, even if there is cellophane around it?
Yeah, these are antiquity gloves. I was on the Blackstone this morning, so they're good. Okay, here we go. All right, first off, I love the backings. Playtest only, not legal for tournament play. And this is a Patria deck. Looks like this is our dragons and Patria here. So I don't know. I'll pick one. What's one people like? I feel people like this cute little guy. So there is one. There we go. So definitely like a step up from mine. Mine were just printed on paper and then on like a playing card. I would say these are comparable to like a card you'd find in like a board game like Dominion or something. I would say it's very comparable to that. It does say do not grade, sale, playtest is watermarked. But yeah, text is super easy to see. Here you go. Here's a Cinder Maw for you. There's a Cinder Maw.
You know, the one thing, Loko, just to keep in mind is that hopefully we expand across the realm audience. So we have some newer people. So just when you're showing these cards, even if you want to just read what it says on the card for folks who are not familiar with the card, but I know we don't have much time, but just while you're holding it up, I'm sure the people newer to Wonders are curious.
Let's go to Cinder Maw. This one I hate when I see him. That's on my side. So Cinder Maw, there's its name there. It has 9 power. It is Sulfera Orbital. It is core. That's a game mechanic where you'd have to have certain things out to play him. He's a legendary wonder, so I can only have one of these in my deck. He's a dragon, lava beast. Costs me 9 energy to play, so typically late game, but I know that Sulfera has some tricks to get this guy out earlier. It says this, on attack, destroy target enemy or item, and it has flying. So this guy's brutal. Flying means he can move around to different realms. When he attacks, he can be like, that thing's destroyed. Moving here, attack, that thing's destroyed. He doesn't even have to win. He just has to attack. So if this is out like round 5 or something, that's pretty disgusting. Should we see the other ones? You want me to knife these ones too? I got about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, of course. More ripping. Yeah, let's do it. Try to cut a couple of the cards as you open it too.
I hope so.
Can you damage a couple? Just as let's see how that looks.
If I damage it, I feel that it might be worth some. I could sign it and be like damaged by Loko. I plan on playing with these ones.
You want to know what? Why don't you do that, and we'll give that to the person who finishes with the worst record in the tournament. They'll get like in golf the bogey prize. Like you can destroy a card and sign it. All
right, we got. Looks like this is Into the Abyss, some Umbra thing, and I'm gonna put up this guy. I haven't seen this guy much. Flash the Windwalker. That's pretty cool. I like that guy. Yeah, that's some neat art there. So this guy's Umberthane, you can tell because of that orbital symbol there. 1 power, he's going to cost me 2 energy. So this guy you could even get out first turn if you have the right stuff out. It says this, sacrifice action. So you're going to sacrifice this guy. Look at the target player's hand. Okay, I can look at the target player's hand. When this leaves this realm, draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. All right, so it gives me a little insight to what my opponent has. And then I can draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Primary Wonder, I can have 2 of them in there. He's a Criminal Messenger, a Dusk Lighter. So that's cool. And once again, like I said, I would say this is right on par to what you'd get out of and when I say board game, I'm not talking like Monopoly or Chutes and Ladders, like a top tier board game you might get at your LGS. Like Joe knows, Dominion's a great game. All right. Third one, Slappy wants me to cut a card. I'm not going to do that yet. Yeah, I got to use these. I mean, I guess I could tape it together. I don't know.
I love the yet.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that Wonders has, I mean, I'm a player first, but I think if you're a card player, like a collectible card player, you naturally become a collector just because you're trying to accumulate cards and, you still like to rip. You'll buy cards you need online. When I was playing, the internet wasn't really big with, single cards and stuff. So we were buying boxes and ripping. So yeah, you wind up with a binder of cards that you won't use, All right, let's see here. Last one here. Ooh, we got the Boundless. Ooh, let's show the Phoenix Quill. This is a popular one. There's our Phoenix Quill. So it's an item. Legendary, you can just have 1. This is a great first turn play, but you can only have 1, so that'd be hard to get. Basically, you have to have this on the field, or excuse me, in the world. You'll sacrifice it for free, and I may play core cards of any orbital this round and gain 3 energy. So that first card I showed you that said core, I believe it was the Cindermaw. If I had Phoenix Quill out, it wouldn't matter. I could play it without having to meet that requirement. All right, yeah. I mean, these are cut beautifully. Whole deck's right there. Ooh, there's Knievel.
Hey, and so, Loko, you have done a great job of really showcasing it, bringing it up, going into the detail, but just take a step back for a second to just be, it's so hard because you've been so involved in the project, but just looking at what you got. I mean, I haven't heard the emotion. You've been very analytical and intellectual, but from an emotional standpoint, like when you see this product, like does it, if you're the average person and you rip this open, I mean, it's kind of an exciting day. It's not just another Amazon package, right?
No. Let's take a look here. So here's what you're going to get. And I mean, there were surprises here. So $35. I mean, I have a couple play mats, and I'm going to say right now, like, to me, I would spend probably close to that just for a play mat. Like $20, I think, would be cheap for one of these. So that in itself is actually really exciting for me. Now, I mean, maybe I'm not showing my excitement, but deep down inside, I am pretty excited, actually.
Yeah, well, and by the way, we should put it into perspective because the Wonders team on a sister project is, you ended up winning. Wasn't it? What'd you end up getting? Was it just like, I don't know. Was it only that the box, like, what was it, $500, $600 that you ended up getting because of that GT?
I mean,
it's like you don't show, you don't jump up. You're no Price is Right, jumping up and down, bra falling off type of guy, right?
No, but I am excited. I'm trying to see what you guys can see here. You get the set of stones here. Here, let me come down. You don't need to see my face. You get the set of stones. We got this. I mean, just looking at what you're gonna get here. I mean, this is cool. Fun sticker there that was in there, and the tote bag, which if you're looking for swag, there it is right there. No, this is awesome, and I want to thank whoever packed this. I imagine someone spent a lot of time hand packing these things. No, this is pretty awesome. My play group doesn't know that I got this. They kind of stay out of Discord, and so I'm gonna show up hopefully this weekend or next week and be like, "Hey guys, I want to play some Wonders of the First," and just roll out all my stuff, and they're just going to be like, what just happened?
You know, it'd be even so. You know, it's even better. Get like, you know, those cards that the projector they used to roll. Well, you're in the schools. You know, do they still have those cards that you roll the projector on in and out of when you had a movie to watch in class? Is like set that up on that projector table, and then like have a sheet over it, and then like a big reveal. Just go and like take it off and
Right?
go. Are you ready to?
Yeah,
play
I mean,
Wonders?"
you and Joe wanted me to like make a cake that looked like the box and like cut into it. I'm just like, what are you guys doing? But no, and I, you know,
That's awesome.
when Joe says this, Joe's right on. So here's the deal. Okay. So like I said, I'm a player first, and this is not any advice or anything. This is just my take on this prediction as well. You saw how I opened this. Like, I plan to play with this. I hope that people are planning to play with these. I hope you're gonna play with your buddies, take it to stores and play with this. And because of that, that's why I have this set I'm not going to touch, because you saw what I did, right? Just cut into it. Let's go. Let's get it out. Let's play with this. These are gonna, I'm hoping these get beat up. I'll sleeve them still, but I'm still hoping they're beat up with how much play I have. And so I think, you know, you're going to want to have a complete full play set of these as well. I would agree, Joe. Tuck it away, you know, and be like, I was there when the Existence play set came out. And, you know, it's these little things too. I know this goes out to everybody, but it's really cool. Just these little things where they welcome us to the Wonders of the First playtest team. The fact that they stamped this mat pre-release
Hey, Loko,
playtest team.
one question. You showed that there's nothing on the back of that, and it's funny because I know Hawkwind actually has a lot of industry experience, and all I can think about is that's wasted marketing space on the back of that. Like, I know they're trying to do things quickly, by the way, and it takes time because we know like how long it takes to do a one pager. But all I can think about is on the back of that, they missed an opportunity to put something. And like, I'm not trying to knock the team. They work hard, and they're a very flat organization. Obviously they didn't know, I think, about National, because I'm just thinking on the back of that, right? That'd be awesome if they plastered it on the back, like, hey, we're going to be in Cleveland at the National, but just something there. Or like, hey, Radish is doing a Wonders tournament every month. Like, they could have put that on there.
I think it's okay. I mean, yeah, I like that it's concise, right? So when I get this, like if I'm a new person, it's concise here. But what I really like is like they stamped that pre-release playtest team. Like, they didn't have to do that. They could have just said Wonders of the First Existence, done, right? So they stamped that pre-release playtest team. So yeah,
that's pretty sweet. I'd like to answer Slappy White's question about the back of the lost opportunity. My answer is, yeah, it's lost opportunity. But it's something that we'll definitely work on going forward. He pointed out a really good point. But our creative right now has got a really, really, really full pipeline. That's what it boils down to. So this is where you have to manage resources internally, and then compare it against what do you want to get out that's maybe not perfectly done, and what do you want to get perfectly done. And so that's that, managing that part, managing the labor resources, and then managing the specialized skills of people, which in this case would be graphic.
I know, Loko, you've got to wrap up the show in the next 2 minutes, but I have to laugh because when it comes to Hawkwind, is for folks who don't know, he's a co-founder of Radish. And so we started as a community group, but he has so much industry experience, and talking with Hawkwind about everything we do at Radish, you would think we were a Fortune 100 company. And I just love the fact that he's trained me so much that I can spot things now. And I think that's the first time, Hawkwind, I've ever put you on the defensive about a valid point. I think it's the first time ever.
I wanted to say you're a missed opportunity, but I didn't. I was more mature than that.
No, I'm really happy with this. I feel it's something that the team didn't have to do, but I know that they really wanted to. And this is, to me, just looking at this is above, I guess, what I would have expected. To be honest, I did not expect, to get a set of Playstones. I expected something different than an actual,
awesome
playmat. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong here. I missed the boat on ordering that Existence booster, so I'm contemplating this weekend if I want to do that, to pick up that.
Well, let me ask you the question. Now that you've opened this, are you going to order any more of these? I mean, it's $35.
Joe's got me thinking. I think so that's the thing, and Phil said it too in Discord, I think yesterday. I'm going to have to if I want to do that add-on. you know, I'm going to have to. Now, other thing, shipping, I mean, true their word. They're like, if you order before 4, we'll get it to you. I've had this. I think I ordered Tuesday, maybe Monday, and I've had it since Wednesday. So I think I ordered Monday. I had it since Wednesday.
Can I add too that I just posted on the Wonders Discord general channel both a video and some pictures of us packing those up. So if people want to go there and take a look at that,
yeah, it definitely looks hand. I love it. It's
yeah.
great.
And then the other part I wanted to mention is the reason this is a tremendous value. This is me personally saying it, but I'm obviously biased towards the company, no matter how much I try not to be. But the value of this is really, really good. The playmat especially bumps it all up. I mean, that's a costly thing normally. And it's also an exclusive, which gives it some extra oomph to it, depending if you're a collector or not. So with that said, what we wanted to do is really simple. We wanted to get a physical product in people's hands so they can start playing. They can start introducing people to it. They can actually start figuring out things for themselves, mixing decks. And what we found out, and Loko, I don't know how many times you answered this question in Discord, is people were trying to do the print and plays, and they were finding out that it was $30 to $35 at Kinko's or FedEx or at Staples. I printed up and it was $42 for me to print my decks up. So I'm like, I wish I didn't waste that money, and I wish I would have bought this instead.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot relate. I can kind of. We used to do like a print subscribe with HP, so I just print whatever. I had a bunch of stuff banked, so I was surprised actually when other people were saying how much it cost them to print. But the fact that you could either print that or get this, I mean, that's like a no-brainer to me. Especially if your intentions are, you know, you want to play and spread this game. I think, you know, get Tabletop Simulator. You can play with any cards you want. I think that's pretty easy to do. You have 3 of the main print and play decks here for as much it costs you to print and a playmat. And so, I mean, you really have a good product here, even just to exhibit as well.
The final thing I would just mention.
All right.
I know we talked about it before, but I just want to reiterate. The only way that you can get first edition packs right now, or not right now, outside of Kickstarter when it closed, is by actually getting this promo upsell that we're doing, where you buy a booster box of regular and get the mini box of first edition. Because people have been asking about it. I mean, it's going to be, if we do well, which we all expect to, then this is something you're going to look back on and say, geez, there was one last opportunity to be able to get that. I really should have. I don't want to pressure people into it.
I think that's huge.
I'm a collector.
Yeah, and so just being a community member and stuff, I think that's massive that you're going to get this for $35. You have another chance to get not just a collect and play booster, but another chance at a first edition mini box as well. So I mean that's huge. So I might be adding something this weekend. We'll see.
That's
All right.
awesome.
All right. Well, those who have lasted so far, my hat off to you. Can you put me back so I can see who's here? Is everyone here still slapping? Bear, appreciate you, man.
Jesus.
Oh, he says blah 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 blah. That's all right, man. Wicked, thanks again for coming on. Appreciate you too. I was excited to play you. Let's get Bear unmuted. Let's go.
All right, hold on. We're gonna unmute him. Sorry, unmute everybody.
I want to hear that accent.
Yeah, the girls want to.
Oh,
Let's be honest.
The
girls in the Wonders community want to hear it. Let's be honest.
Right.
The ladies, the women.
I have a question.
No
for you, Bear.
comment.
What with
Yes.
Is Nationals occurring next week at this time? Is that the case? Are you flying or is it in 2 weeks?
Yeah, so Nationals is going to be from the 24th to the 28th. Our show would be on the 26th. Frankly, I would like to make some time to jump in the show anyway. So I will jump out and I'll make sure I'm here with you guys.
Love it, man. Always a pleasure
Oh,
talking to you.
also, I do want to mention,
Likewise.
I'm sorry, I forgot about this. We are going to actually do a tournament for Wonders at the National Convention live.
Oh yeah.
16 people tournament.
Well,
You
on
have to
what
be-
day? Which day?
That's going to be on Saturday. You sign up before that. You
All
have to
right. So
be
at
there.
nationals, there'll
Wait,
be a
hold-
tournament.
Oh, hold on. And how soon can they? I know there's some people who are planning on being at national. They'll want to sign up right now. What's the earliest you can sign up? Because what are you going to do? Say 20 people want to do it. Is it first come, first serve? You can't just throw this out there and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know."
Well, we were going to do 32, but we don't have enough time at national to be able to do that. That would be a long time. So with 32, we're going to reserve some spots to sign up for people in Discord. But it's a much harder now because what we really want to be able to do is do Discord and brand new people if they want to. The reality is it's going to be hard to get brand new people because usually people are intimidated by the name tournament. Some aren't, but a lot are. So
Well, maybe they'll play and then they'll want to play in your tournament, right? They'll get to go
exactly.
play it. Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know the answer. How do you like that?
Okay, but if say somebody is watching this and they want to, they're going to be there. They definitely want to play. Can they message you now so so they can be made aware as soon as it happens? Because I know some people want that spot.
In Wonders, you can DM me. I do want to point one thing out for the Discord is that I'm going on a camping trip with no cell service, so I will not be able to respond after this until Monday. Just so people know.
All right. So big news at the end. If you're going to nationals, there not only can you play Wonders, there's going to be a Wonders tournament, is what I heard. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Indeed.
Wicked. Thanks so much, man. Good luck tomorrow. All right.
Thank you guys for having me, and thank you for that.
Yeah, I can attest that I played Wicked, and then immediately it's like, just this coaching mode that was super awesome. So appreciate that, man.
It's great.
I think we answered most questions. Joe, what time does it start? Are you talking about tomorrow? Or are you talking about nationals? I guess that's my question.
And that's a Yo-Yo 909 question, which you wanted to know. And of course, if you go to radishwonders.com, the information about when the bracket Saturday, the times, we'll update the information with seating and also additional details. Always go to radishwonders.com for the information. But Hawkwin, in case he was asking, and it's good to know as well, do you have that information on when the tournament on Saturday, what time it will start? Or that's up in the air, to be determined.
Dude, just that one thing. 1 p.m. on Saturday.
Okay, 1 p.m.
All right, guys. That's going to have to wrap it up for me.
One more thing.
Another thing. There are prizes. It'll be the first one gets a first edition booster box for first place. Second place will be a first edition mini box. And third place is something else I figured out and I can't remember.
Prizes involved though for the tournament at nationals. I love it. Always giving. We appreciate that for sure.
And Hawkwin, you guys are going to do something for the Radish Wonders tournament, right? We'll get some graph at the tournament that we can send out to folks.
Sure. You never got me involved with this, so I have no idea. It's all on you. I would have been involved, but you didn't ask me.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks so much, Slappy. Thanks, Bear. It's always a pleasure. I'll see you in
likewise, folks.
And you'll be stateside next time, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
I'll see you guys soon.
Fish, thank you for all that information. And thanks again, Wicked. Good luck. Thank you, those who watched. I appreciate you. And remember, keep seeking the wonders in life. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one.
Thanks, Loko.